And now this has opened this solution up. I'm not sure quite why it's on this side, but it's alright. You will see there's a client episodic and a server episodic. We'll be working specifically just to the client episodic. A few things I want to highlight before we go ahead with this is I had a problem with this the other day. Project build configuration manager. It's a debug version at the minute, so if you try to run the game or whatever, it won't work. It'll tell you that it's a debug version, so you have to make it a release version like that. And now it should be a release version. That's grand. Now it'll work once you compile it. If you do get a few compilers in the thing, don't worry about it. I'm sure you'll be okay. Just you can message me on YouTube. Alright, so what I want to do first is in client episodic, under header files, right click, add new item. That hasn't come up before, but it doesn't matter. Code, under Visual C++ code, header file. Name of your code is as it is here, hood devilstrap.h. So just copy that name over. You don't really need the .h though. And add. It'll open it up for you here. All you need to do then is go back to this page. By the way, I'll put this link here on with the YouTube video, so don't worry about losing that. Copy the code in the h file over in here. Click save. That's grand. And then you can minimize this and go down to source files. In source files, right click, add new item. Look for a CPP file this time, a C++ file. We're going to name it the same thing. Oh, whoops. I was too lazy to type. And yeah, add that. You get presented with a blank CPP document. Copy all this stuff here over. Save. And before we compile it, I want to run over a few things with you. This here, the way this whole setup works, the way the guy programmed it to work, was that when you go into the game, it won't show up unless you have this to true, I believe. But to make it show, you enable the developer console in the game, and you type show underscore devilstrap space 1, and it will turn up. If you type show underscore devilstrap space 0 after you had typed the first one, it will just go away again. Most of you people know this anyway when it comes to modding, but this is more for the noob who's starting modding and is probably going to fail miserably, but these things happen, right? I also want to point out this extremely important thing here. This folder here is specific to the materials folder of your game. I'll show you what I mean. So you go to wherever your Steam is. It will be in probably your operating system, but I'm working from an external hard drive for the time being because I've got a lot of work to do. Into Steam apps, source mods, your mod's name. In my case, it's Supernatural. Materials. So it's whatever you write in there is specific to the materials folder. So here it is, HUD, and then you put the things in there, Devil's Trap. You don't need to put .vtf at the end because Source Engine's handy like that. It already figured that out for us. It actually goes to the VMT, not the VTF, because the VMT points towards the VTF. You might also want to know a little thing about this VMT. It must be an unlit generic to work. Like the code is there on the site as well for that if you want to look at it. I think maybe my VTF it mightn't work with because it's all red earlier on, but the code here is perfect. This is for an animated VTF. If you want your thing to be animated, follow tutorial as to how to make an animated one, but add this code to the VMT and make sure that that's specific to whatever folder you add it to. Now once you get used to messing around with the Source Engine, this will all become a lot clearer. I'm not great at teaching that kind of thing, but follow some of maybe the new Oasis tutorials, which are very, very good, and FPS Banana. Oh, there's a wealth of sites out there. The thing is that you have to go and find them. You really do. So that's specific to that folder. You can also change a few things from through default. You'll sort of get the idea of what each thing does after a while, and the size of the panel, etc., etc. The alpha channel of it, all that stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it is. And this here specific to the res file I was telling you about, the .res. I'll go into that now in a second. But first of all, you need to compile this. So you go up to your solution game, episodic, and you build that solution. And make sure I've got my output up here, and it's going to compile through the whole thing, and it's a pretty big job. It will take you a while to compile that whole thing. So I'm going to pause this recording so that it'll compile, and back in a sec. So I just finished compiling this thing. Took me, I don't know what, 10, 15 maybe minutes or so, 10 minutes at least. And it made two files, a server.dll and a client.dll. Dynamic link library is the code basically that's used for the whole game. I'm going to show you where you can find that now, or you should be able to find it. Go to your Steam folder. In my case, it's going to go way out here. Here's some program files. Steam apps, source mods, the name of your mod, tutorial mod, bin. Alright, all I've got here is client.dll. The server one wasn't put over.